What are you afraid of? Passion is not the reserve of the likes of Nelson Mandela, um, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, um, name it your Abraham Lincoln, name it your the politician or the humanitarian or world leader you most admire. Passion is not just the reserve of such people. Passion is something that you probably have associated with fear, what you're most afraid of doing or attempting. Well, that's the hidden potential called passion. Fear has got the ability to paralyze us, prevent us from achieving, prevent us from getting things done. When we turn it the other way around and explore what we are most afraid of, it becomes what we become most passionate about. And when passion is directed towards the fulfillment of your dream, you are prepared to take risks, you are prepared to defy the odds, you persevere, you are persistent, you are determined, and great outcomes are the result of such an attitude. Welcome to Business Insight today, and this is the second clip. I'm sharing this clip to you from my garden shed, and one of the things I find we tend to do when we are rehearsing and we're going through the state of mind called fear is we are inactive. We go over the same issues, how we cannot do anything about the situation, how there's nobody to help us, and how we are stuck without funds, without support, without the ability, without our prayers being answered, and this goes on and on until our weakness becomes very much exaggerated. Now, what I'm suggesting to Business Insight today is to take a completely different approach to all of this. Rather than magnifying and exaggerating our fears and our weakness and how we're not able to cope and how we're not able to do anything about particular situations, I'm coming to you suggesting, just experimentally, that you take a different approach. And what is that approach? The approach is to redirect your focus away from yourself, away from what you cannot do, away from what you cannot attain, away from the bills that haven't been paid, away from the problems that haven't been solved, away from the bank balance that is showing um, oh which is in dire state, away from the rejections that you might have faced, away from all the people who have turned you down, have refused to acknowledge your skills, your potential, away from all of that. Just for a day, 24 hours, turn away from all of that, focus away from all of that, and begin to take small steps towards the dream, towards what you most want to achieve. Is it a job you want? A dream job? Send in that application, send in that CV. Is it a business project? Do something about it. Start writing a business plan. Whatever you want to do, take a step, no matter how small, how insignificant, take a step in that direction. Just do something today and just say, look, it's a fragment of what you really should be doing. Just, it might not be a very confident step, just do it. Something different. Take focus away from yourself and just do something. Now, the next thing you do is, when you have taken that step, that unsteady step, find a way of gradually reducing, and I need to stress this, find a way of gradually reducing dependence on your current situation or your current scenario. Are you in a job situation that you're not very happy with, that you keep feeling like there's more to your life than that job? Start exploring the possibility of reducing your work hours so that you could give more time to your business project. Or sometimes you might not even need to do anything quite radical or as drastic as that. But it's so important to wean yourself, and I mean wean as in WEAN, wean yourself from your comfort zone. Unless you combine those gradual steps those gradual steps towards your dream, your cherished dream, unless you combine it with weaning yourself from your comfort zone, you might find a situation, and I've described it in previous clips, where you fall right back into the old routine. Over the years, as I work in organizations, I've noticed a certain pattern. People who have moved on from a particular job and position, either to study or to take on another position, and then years later, I find that they come back either to the same job or a more junior position. Now, in my opinion, that isn't progression. So you want to look out for maiden achievements. You want to take a steady step towards your dream, but at the same time, find a way of breaking that dependency on the current situation. Now, more about that in further clips. Now, then there is a further step you need to take. You need to find a way of trying to identify any changes. Look out for any improvement in your situation. Become more hopeful, become more optimistic. Find out if you've sent in an application, follow that up at some stage. Ask if you've not had any feedback. Just, have I got a job? Or I sent an application this time, I just want to know if there's any response. I'll tell you an experience of a good friend of mine. Now, she had applied for a job and she waited, and it was very close to the date of the interview, and she still hadn't heard whether she was shortlisted or not. Now we prayed, because we people of faith, and we prayed about this, and she felt that she should take a further step, follow it up, and make that phone call. Do you know what happened? When she made that phone call, somehow she was given this disappointing news that she hadn't been shortlisted. And this is what my friend did. My friend said, I'm surprised I haven't been shortlisted because I've got all the criteria, I satisfy all the criteria. And eventually, this gentleman who was on the phone with her came back to her and said, I think there's been a mistake, so we've added your name to it. Now, that in most cases, an individual will probably say, well, I'm sorry, you've not been shortlisted, end of story. But there's something about perseverance, there's something about persistence. And so this is just one of the ways where you could actually adopt a more positive, optimistic attitude after you have taken those small and steady steps. Now, we'll come back to this theme in our next clip.